Brooke, I think you need to pop your head out of the curtain and sing the fight song.
Oh, wait, just start singing it from behind the curtain and come in? Like,
yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and come on, Sherrod, come on and fight. It's up to you to do it tonight. Let's take it away. Monsters 4. They are the purple and the gold.
Welcome to In the Round, a podcast for people who love music and genuine conversation. This week, prepare yourselves to meet the sweetest duo on the planet, Wolfskill The Wild. Jay sings and plays guitar, and Madison layers in beautiful melodies on the violin. We talk about how they came together, both musically and romantically, the language of music, what inspired their new song, Beyond, and some stuff about toast. Don't ask, just listen. In the words of J Maddie, folk yeah, let's go. So that was a high school fight song. So you guys went to the same high
I should
school.
probably tell the audience about what the heck just happened.
No, I mean, I love the zero context.
So we are Wolfskill The Wild. We're a band from the Quad Cities. We are a folk duo, and Madison is from the Iowa side. I'm from the Illinois side, and I went to a high school called Sherrod High School. And while we were doing a audio session or a studio session, live recording of our newest song, Brooke had mentioned, oh my gosh, you went to Sherrod, I went to Sherrod. And then we just started singing the Sherrod theme song. Yeah.
I think the best part, though, was the kicking feet.
The choreography was there.
That's part of it. Yes, okay, I'm here with Jay and Madison of Wolfskill The Wild. We're so glad. Welcome to In the Round. We're
Thank you
glad
for
to
having
have
us
you.
here.
Yeah. You guys just played a beautiful new song that you were just talking about called Beyond, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I do this all the time where I'll be in Studio D watching and I'm like, I want to sing along because it's got such the chorus and kind of that moving line is really, there's like something wonderfully familiar about it, like a warm blanket, you know, of like makes you sing along. But it also, I love this about your songs in general where there's this like wistfulness. There's this, it's the driving down an open road type, you know, vibe. And I love that about all your songs, but I think this one does that for sure.
I think it's definitely a crossover between those country vibes, like Sherrod, you know, school of 100
You're
people.
You're bringing Sherrod. You're going to keep saying
Enough plugs of that. But definitely, you know, I mean, I grew up from the country. Madison grew up in the countryside-esque as well. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, we pull elements of that Iowan Midwestern country, not really country music, but just the feeling of what it is to be in the country, right? The
rural element,
and the
like
hospitality of it, right? And and I think that's kind of the emotion that comes along of that hospitality, that we are all family here. You know, we're all going to break bread together and pass the food around the table. It's a campfire, bonfire, come hang out. We're having coffee in the morning, like just that loving tribe-like experience. And I think that's kind of the vibe right now. And Beyond, which we performed, that was there's a fun story. Can I tell the story?
Yes, please do. That's literally why you're here.
Can I tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
So I was I was staying up late on the couch one night, and one of my guilty pleasures is space documentaries.
I love it.
And so I was watching a space documentary about how we all might live in a black hole. I'm like,
we definitely do.
We all live, and I look over, Madison's zonked out on the couch. Pixie, our dog, is asleep in my lap. And they're just like, I was like, man, this is so like, I'm just feeling so much love right now.
Yeah.
But like, we're all in a black hole. Oh my gosh. And then I was thinking, I was like, you know what? What if, all right, if we all do live in a black hole, that maybe, you know, people say like, you mean the world to me, right? And so it's like, how do I say that more? How do I say that you mean more than the world to me? And so I was like, oh my gosh, we all live in a black hole. Well, you know what? My love for you extends beyond the black hole. That somehow love and music can transcend space and time. And that if we are, you'll find me out there somewhere, you know, and that it's like you are beyond that. And that, you know, there's a line where it's you burn out the black of night, and that you are the light. So it's kind of this,
I love that.
It's like probably the most like powerful love song that I could kind of write while still making it this folky but experimental feeling. And Madison really like as soon as she heard it, she was like, I love you, but like this song's kind of like.
Oh wait, we should mention that you guys are an actual couple as well, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not just like touching his
Yeah.
leg.
Like, some brothers and sisters are close. But I don't know. We should make this clear for the podcast.
No, we are definitely a couple. We are not brothers and sisters.
No,
I love your description of that song though, because that's what I'm saying. The feelings are evoked there, even if I couldn't pull out every single word hearing it the first time. Like the feeling is really there, and I love your description of that, because also the combination of existential dread and like joy that we're all living in right now. We're like, it's summer, yay! And then it's like,
we don't know what's out there in the sky. We were just talking about this the other night.
Yeah,
I was
literally.
like, I will watch another space documentary.
Yeah,
and then he
they're
like
so
showed
great.
me like the slit,
the double slit experiment about
yeah, he's like,
photons
baby,
and light.
you
and
haven't seen this experiment?
Oh
And
my gosh!
So I showed
blew
it
my
to her in
mind.
person of like kind of what it does, and we were talking. I was like, we just don't know what it is, but like how scary and terrifying is it? But then also like, okay, let's just go about my day.
Yeah,
like,
but then
I completely block
gosh.
it out again. So Beyond is like this tale of that kind of feeling, right? And Madison did like. When we started playing it though, she came in and she got so nasty, like in a good way, like sick with it.
Like
Yeah.
the
Yes, the arpeggiated
Yes,
movement in
yes.
that is so. I mean, it almost reminds me of the soundtrack to Interstellar. Speaking of
That-
space,
yes,
right? It's like got
yes.
that vibe in it. Truly,
I like
it's
where this
so
is
beautiful.
going.
It was so cool seeing you do that movement too, because
Thank you.
even the movement of it kind of adds this, this like. There's like an edge to it, which is we're on the edge of this black hole. Like we could just blink at any time. Theoretically,
yeah, that helps.
no, so that really came through. Yeah, it seemed like you were really inspired.
Yeah. I try to like experiment. I mean, we're both trying to experiment a lot. And I just try to think, why are you laughing?
I love you. I'm sorry.
I just randomly
God.
start laughing at
Jared
me.
is like the most adorable. Oh god! I hope everyone watches the actual video and doesn't just listen, so they can just see you two be absolutely cute at each other. But go on, Madison. Your inspiration for this song.
Well, just like our music in general, I try to push like what can I do, like with my instrument without pedals. I mean, of course, like plug in digital pedals. It sounds cool. Delay, but like, what have I learned on my instrument? All these different articulations, bowings.
Yes.
And what can I do? And trying to imitate like outer space sounds and stuff.
Well, yeah, because what I love about, especially because you change that same line you play throughout the song, but in the beginning it sounds like it's static. It's like far away.
Yeah,
then you bring it in.
Yes. Yeah. What I did is I did what's called sol ponticello, which is a bow stroke where you take your bow and put it close to the bridge, and it sounds like really wiry and stark.
Oh wow, that's great. I definitely do not play a stringed instrument, so please dig into the nitty gritty. I love that. That's so cool. Because your background was growing up playing orchestra, symphony, like classical, of course. I mean, most people don't wake up and they're like a baby fiddle player. Like you don't usually you kind of work your way into fiddle.
Amazing fiddle players, and they can't read sheet music. So I'm just saying,
this is true. This is
and
true.
they shred more than I do. Yeah. So way better.
There's that like symphonic shred. That's a specific shred. I know what you're talking about.
Rock and
yeah.
roll.
Yeah, rock and roll. No,
There's
it's
times
beautiful
at your symphony concerts though where I see you like making a stank face, like because you're like so into it, like
it goes hard.
Like you get, like I've learned more about
Brahms
not just
goes hard.
classical music. There's other symphonic
Eras,
music, I guess,
genres.
orchestral music.
Yeah,
I should
orchestral
say.
music.
And
yeah.
I've learned more about them in the last year than I have in my entire life, and I'm like, oh my gosh, suddenly like I love Brahms. I'm so here for Gershwin.
For real. Is there a composer you really like?
Just pretty much, yeah. Tchaikovsky.
Oh, Chekhov. Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Romantic
Old Mr.
era.
Che. Yeah. No one's called him.
I
that,
like
but-
to joke that I love listening to 80s music.
Yeah.
1880s.
Oh, jeez.
That's so great.
That's awesome.
Anyway, it's not a joke. It's actually it's true.
You
True
just
story.
Flip that on.
And Beatles.
Yeah, and the
Beatles.
Well,
No, but honestly,
that's like a given.
Yeah, and shout out to your dad because
Yeah,
he is like the Beatle fan.
he
He
is
is
the
the
Beatle.
Beatle, actually.
The
Yeah, he's not
Beatle.
the fifth.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, he's the sixth Beatle.
the sixth Beatle. There we go.
Yeah, 'cause
So
the fifth
no,
Beatle's
that
producer.
that
Yes.
informs like that makes sense of how this kind of came together then, or like the sound that you guys
Totally.
put out.
Yeah, I mean,
and-
It started in a coffee shop. Like it's a Hallmark movie. I swear.
I was gonna say,
So,
I heard this story.
I think we should try to pitch this to Hallmark. Honestly.
I mean, it should. You heard it here first.
We can do the soundtrack.
folks.
I was living above a coffee shop. Madison was working as a barista at the coffee shop. I would come down, tell her about
snowing.
Be like, I'm playing music. I'm a musician. I'm starting this band, and like,
flex,
and Maddie's like, oh, cool. And
More foam, less foam. What do you want?
Can I get an espresso, please? And Maddie's like, sure, okay. Like, this guy's an idiot, whatever. But then later on, I learned that it's espresso, and Madison and I began having more conversations. And I was like, hey,
even before Sabrina Carpenter mentioned it.
Before.
Got it.
I mean, this is
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
It drove me nuts.
Sorry.
For months, but I didn't want to, like, be snotty about it. Like,
eventually I talked her into joining the band, though, the project, right? I was like, hey,
so
like,
how'd you find out that she played violin?
Because I was living above that coffee shop, and I would come down, and then so over time I'm in a band, and she's like, oh, I play in some of the symphonies around. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do you play? And she, violin and cello. And I was like, oh, big brain idea. Like, I would love for you to maybe come jam with Wolfskill The Wild. And she's like, okay, sure, yeah, I'm down to, like, I want to be in a band. I want to do some other stuff.
I really wanted to do folk so bad. Like, play folk music.
Right.
I had, like, slightly worked with Louis Knudsen, who's another folk artist from the Quad Cities. He's amazing. But I wanted more of that.
Shout out.
So I was, like, super stoked as well.
And then as we began playing and just writing songs, and over time, where the whole time in my mind I'm like, all right, she's my bandmate, she's an incredible player. Okay,
I can't ask her out.
yeah you were playing that fiddle, so, and I have to be extremely professional, but I think it set a really good foundation, one for our relationship first, and then as well as for the band, though, because we started off with working together, and how do we work together, and when times are stressful, or when we're on stage together, or when the chaos of just the day that a show brings, what are things like together, and being able to work together in that light. And then as we kept doing that, we're writing songs, and we're writing more songs, and we're learning how each other writes, and then these songs are kind of like getting extremely vulnerable, right? It's a very vulnerable space. It's that Midwestern feeling of, hey, welcome into my home. I will share my home with you if you respect it, right?
Yeah, right.
And then slowly but surely, one night, Madison just started scooting closer towards me while I was writing, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I love it.
We were in the middle of writing a song, because it was for Feral Heart. We had, like, completely scrapped the album when the whole band thing happened, and starting from scratch. So we were writing a song, actually, about learning to love yourself. And it was inspired by...
Take Me As I Am?
No.
Oh, it did that.
It's not on the album,
actually.
Take Me As I Am kind of came from this, but...
same...
Yeah, but this song is kind of like... So we kind of reserved that song. Yeah. We held it, and we're like, all right, well, maybe on our wedding day.
Yeah, like first dance for song.
Yeah.
First...
That's so cute. Oh my gosh.
But we were writing the song about, like, learning to love yourself. And it was inspired by my late grandma Karma. Oh my gosh, I just said her name wrong.
I was like, that's a cool name, but still a cool name. But wow. Wait, Grandma Karma?
Yes.
Her name is Karma.
Yes.
Wow.
She's a
Karma with a K?
queen.
Karma
with
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
badass.
iconic. No, for real.
Like
She was a goddess.
Hair,
yes.
Full on,
I can see it.
But she would always tell me growing up, you have to love yourself before you can love anything else, anyone else. And that's what inspired the song. And then we fell in love in the middle of writing it. And it wasn't on purpose.
Movie, I can see it.
Yeah. I mean,
I love it.
Like, it's hard to kind of tell that story sometimes, because, like, oh my gosh, is this, like, too cheesy a little bit sometimes?
But it's
right?
real.
But
it's what happened. It's a true story.
It wasn't through any other means of finding love, which I don't knock at all. But, like, it was just something that was, like, I had hoped for. I had hoped and I had wished for so long. Right. And then it finds you when you're not looking for it, I
love your imposter syndrome, I guess, about, like, this perfect situation of, like, once it actually happened, you're like, oh no, that can't happen again.
That can't be right?
No,
Nowadays?
it was full on.
You guys are
I was
so
working
cute.
on my my own craft of like I'm working on the thing that I love most. What is that I love most? I love music, and in the process I found something that I love more than that, right? But it was that feeling of chasing your dreams. I mean, just following what it is that you love, and then how the universe, this black hole that we're in or whatever, it's so weird, because as soon as you start doing those things, as soon as you start having the fire in you to go out and get after it, it starts to put things and people and places and other just doors of opportunity in front of you that you hadn't had before. And it's a really exciting thing to have. And it's like, and it starts to feel and drive, and the wheels begin to turn. They turn faster,
your
right?
Vulnerability is that draws people in. I feel like, we're all drawn to that. And so I think when you can do that musically, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, I feel like it's easy when it's like you're being real kind of, and that's, I met you guys at Greenbelt, and I mean, we kind of knew maybe you were going to come and do this, and I mean, we hadn't met in person, and it was like, immediately we're like, hey, what's up?
But you were also vulnerable, right? And that's how we met, was through this vulnerability situation, because you guys were competing in the festival as well.
Yes. Okay,
and I wanted, like, as soon as I saw like the competition, how it started and kind of how things went along, festivals get better every year, right? Totally. And so I'm excited to see what next year's is like. And after it was all said and done, you had reached out and you said, hey, congratulations, you guys really deserve this win. And then you're like blowing up social medias, and you're like sharing it on social media, like, shout out to Wolfskill The Wild, they deserve this. I'm like, oh my god, these people are so nice. Like,
you guys are nice too. You were we should give context. So Greenbelt Music Festival did a vote in, submit your band to play. And it's very cute that you think we're competing. I happened to see it and I was like, oh yeah, and then I forgot about it. I forgot that I even put us in.
This is why we won.
And, and they still nominated you, though,
because I've no, for sure. And this was my band, The Host Country. Yes. And so, and we're not actually bluegrassy country vibe. I mean, we're more like indie rock, like whatever. But but it was just really sweet, because then you guys, I saw you like championing the other. You're like, wow, we're up against so many great acts. I mean, you were really
noticed that they were competing.
Yeah, that was honestly helpful.
About this.
I did not know we were in the top, and I was like, oh crap. So anyway, but you guys were such a perfect fit. I mean, honestly,
I wish we could have performed it together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That maybe.
Kind of wanted to sob. I was like, I wish they won.
Oh my god!
We're just this tiny duo. Like, we could have just went the Pickers bar.
No. Okay. I did want to talk about that though, because I did get to see you guys play in the Pickers stage area, and actually Brooke was there with me too, and I was like, I want to go kind of check this out. It's always a fun, they're kind of growing that, and it gets kind of rowdy at certain times. But I loved you guys just got off the stage. You put everyone in the round. You're like, forget plugging in, just getting close. You were playing covers and having people sing, and it was so great. I thought that was really, to me, seeing, if I saw my favorite band or even a band I don't know, someone just engaging that way of you had a real genuine love for performing, but also love for the listener, love for the audience, and kind of bringing them into your circle. It was really great. I thought it was cool.
That's a huge thing of mine. I love seeing live music, and I love seeing people perform, and I'm just this kind of Iowa country river cat, but so when it comes performers, you won't see me wearing the flowers on my head, getting full on.
Not yet.
We're
getting there.
He's
one
changed.
festival
he's
under your belt.
Man.
Yeah, you're changing. Remember?
I come back to this. Like I said, I'm wearing a bandana and a pashmina. Talk about the real black holes.
Right.
But a lot of times I think about, what is this like for the audience when they listen to us? And I know as an artist, we are supposed to write for ourselves and for creating art. Right. That is a huge thing.
Yes.
But I just can't help but think, but what about them? And so I try to blend this thing of if Maddie and I were in the crowd, how would we dance to this? What would we feel just listening to this? Would we have a fun night? Because that's what I want to do ultimately, is give everybody a fun night to have, while also getting to have a fun night ourselves, and make art together. And
hashtag date night.
Yeah. But actually, it's not date night because work at the same time, right?
And sometimes we don't get food. So.
The cool thing about the Picker stage was, though, so when we were on when we were on the main stage, right? It was so big, and it was like
and you're like separated from the crowd,
and there was a
too,
space. I mean, it was early on, but it was
Yeah.
filling in. Shout out to everybody that did come out and that supported it.
There's a lot. There's good.
And then we switched. They had asked us if we wanted to play on the picker stage, and I was like, oh, I don't know, but okay, sure, all right, we'll go play. And I'm so glad we did, because like you said, it was able to get, we saw that. So that whole thing happened of like why we came down off the stage was because.
Yeah, I had a pickup on my acoustic violin.
Yes, right.
And it has like it's like a headphone jack, and then we like connect that to a 1/4 inch adapter
you were
thingy.
missing the
yes,
piece, I remember,
it was on the main stage.
Yeah, and one of the people in the crowd, they
went and got it.
What was your?
I know. We're gonna moving on. I'm not gonna remember, but I know exactly. I could like meet him.
He sprinted back to the stage though and grabbed that and brought it back. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, we're sitting there singing, Goose and Billy Strings in the barn with everybody. And like there was probably, I don't know, 40, 60 people, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. But
there was 400 or 500 people there.
At one point, Madison Square Garden came out.
So,
it was just so cool.
It
to
was
see.
really intimate, but like it was the what the experience should be, right? Especially like a lot of bluegrass festivals do that, where there's a jam session, and it's not like everyone there had like a banjo with them or anything, but it was that feeling.
Yeah,
and so it was
you
really
are
fun.
a part. You are just as much of this festival as we are.
Yeah,
right. And I think that's kind of that festival unity that is, why we go to them.
Yeah, why
right?
we go and enjoy it.
Hey, I'm Bob the Tool. To make great burritos here at Poncheros, it's about more than just fresh tortillas and tasty ingredients. It's about, well, me.
Tell about the Mac.
Poncheros, burritos better mixed by me, Bob the Tool.
I want to go back. So, Wolfskill The Wild was the name of the band before Madison joined, because I was thinking that came out of the duo, but that was the full band that you had.
Madison's from the classical side. I'm from the jam band side. Right. So I got started playing like open mics maybe, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. And then over time, one of my friends, shout out to Molly Durnan, she's playing out in South Carolina and Alaska now. One night after playing this open mic gig, she's like, Wolfie, when are you going to start taking music serious? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, make a Facebook page. And I was like, all right, fine. So I made Wolfskill. And then I was like, man, I'm going to all these different jams and I'm playing with all these random people all the time. And I just want fun. I just want a fun band to be a part of. And I just want a group. We all want a group to belong to, right?
Yeah.
So I'm playing with random drummers, random guitarists. One guy playing an electric washboard, whatever. It didn't matter. Like some dude, seriously, no, it's a real thing. Some dude was like, could like slap a tree log. I didn't care. Like we were jamming. So that.
Oh yeah,
it was
Troy,
always,
the tree logger guy.
It circulated though, and it was always so wild of just like whoever I was playing with. So I was like, okay, well now it's Wolfskill The Wild, because I don't even know what's gonna happen. And then
I love that.
And then as every band goes through the ropes of learning who finding that foundational roots and the key players and everything like that, through those trials and tribulations, out of that came me and Maddie. And at one point, as we were learning, there was this full band, but everyone has family at home. We all have lives. We all have other projects, other works. So it kind of unfolded a little bit, and there was no bad blood. It was just timing.
Just stuff.
And
right.
I told Madison at this time, I said, hey, Maddie, I asked you to be a part of this band. It isn't a band because it's imploded a little.
Right.
A little. So I was like, so
Completely,
if you want to leave, like, I understand. And she looked at me and she goes, no. I want to stay and I want to write music with you.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I love you. But
I love you, but I can't tell you for maybe 6 to 8 months.
Seriously. So it was like all these pent up emotions of just like when do you even say that to someone?
It was our first date.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you just go with what you feel. And I'm like, I don't hide it.
Did you know, were you kind of into him? Is that part of, or were you like, I
she
just
laid
want
it
to
on
play the
thick.
music?
yeah, but again, just holding back.
Yeah, because you didn't want to ruin it, or
and we were scared because we were working together and we're trying to make an album and like don't want to ruin that. And I was like, no, but what if it just seems good right now?
The thing about it's funny that we keep coming back to vulnerability. I think that's like a good topic for this for this then maybe. And
well, it's the music.
With that vulnerability, it's, we hold it sacred and we take care of it because everybody's been hurt, and we all have these walls that are built up around us to protect us from getting hurt. And it's okay to have them, but at the same time recognizing that you have them and knowing who and when to allow those walls down, because you have to allow those walls down for the right people, right? You have to allow them in the right places, and it's this kind of
at the right time.
Yeah, and it's this mental dance that we do a little bit. And so now, once we kind of learned each other's and being able to kind of drop them, it was just like, oh my gosh, the curtain's open. We can just like be ourselves. And I think as artists, that's like the biggest thing that you could have, is to be able to have the heart and soul to be like freedom of expression, and to be able to feel confident in that. And 100%. So it was very, very cool and surreal thing to come about. That's given me so much more than I could ever ask for,
Well, and so do you write all the lyrics? This is so cute. I can't even linger because I will just like start weeping. You guys are adorable. So do you write all the lyrics, or are you both contributing lyrically now?
Maddie writes the hip hop songs, the raps. Technique tracks.
She's like, I make the hip hop, the hippie to the hip to the hip.
How did you remember that?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I have to share this real quick. So I use Essential Elements 2000, the books for teaching my students. And in like the second book, almost like every exercise is called Technique Tracks with an X. And one of my students made me a bracelet that says Madison Technique Tracks and said it's my rapper name.
Yeah, so it might. So like if we get married, it's gonna be Wolfskill and Technique Tracks, maybe.
Oh my god!
So that's what that was.
It's
a beautiful name, by the way.
Oh gosh. I mean, when it comes to the writing, a lot of times I'm kind of more of like this campfire guitarist, but that's willing to experiment. And I'll find weird noises or listen to movie scores or whatever and kind of pull inspiration.
Yeah, obviously.
I pull and pulling inspiration. I'm a weirdo. I pull inspiration from everywhere though. Yeah. And so a lot of times the songs sound like.
Wait, do you have voice memos like that? I do.
That are like we were just listening to them last night.
I was like,
he started at the bottom and he's like,
to make space
you can tell that.
I always tell my husband, I'm like, you gotta delete my voice recorder app, like when I die, because it's
for real.
It's
like a diary.
Some of it is like it's kind of guts of like this
Yeah.
is how this song came out, but other ones are like. They're like just embarrassing. Or like we're in the process of recording an album right now, and so I went on a walk and I was listening to the mixes, and so then it's voice recordings of me going, okay, and this song it's like me walking like out of breath, like add this to the thing.
Hi, how's it going? I love your dog.
That's so real. That's so real.
And it just cracks me up. So I super hard relate to that.
Yeah, I mean that's usually how it starts, is just that jargonish of like.
So you start with the music, like you hear the music first.
And
it's usually a chord progression that you come up with, and then we've been told that our music, like you can hear words in the in the
instrument, yes,
and
your violin,
that's what,
especially,
But even with like Take Me As I Am, Take Me As I Am came from the chord progression actually.
Right.
So if you listen to just the
it just lends itself to certain words.
Yeah.
That's so true. Like there's times
frequencies.
Yeah, frequencies and the rhythm of something a lot of times can change. You're like,
that
no,
cadence,
I need a k word versus a m word.
Yeah,
there
take versus
give or whatever.
Just the O and the ta, right?
Yes.
That's that.
Yeah.
Because it's the percussiveness of that vocal tone, and it makes me almost wish that I learned another language so that I could be like more flexible in my vocabulary sound shaping. Insert scientific name for that.
10 out of 10 recommend learning a language, but music is a language.
I have Spanish a
little bit.
Poquito, but like nothing much though. After
everyone has Spanish in Poquito.
Doesn't count.
No, what I find interesting is a lot of times when you listen to especially like Swedish musicians or like a lot of the Europeans that basically speak English like from day one. I mean, the way they use our language, I think, is so beautiful. Like sometimes it makes me mad. I'm like, why do you say it so well? When
So
I've been
poetically,
like I'm supposed to speak this language, but that comes from, and I do speak. I lived in Brazil a couple times.
Oh, wow.
So you speak Portuguese?
I speak Portuguese.
Okay.
I've like gotten to do it, and
Rad.
so what I've noticed, because I've thought about this a lot, when you think about how we use a phrase, you know, like I'm not going to be able to think of one right now, but just any colloquialism, basically, they have their own version of that, but it's never the same translation.
Right.
So if you think of it like as something that we say of like, it's the best thing since sliced bread, like if you translated that literally, they would be like, what
Right.
the heck?
Right. Maddie
Yeah.
speaks Korean.
No,
What?
I don't speak Korean.
Sorry. Okay.
But I do martial arts. I do Kutsuwan.
No, she's like a ninja.
Wait, so you
She's a
physically
ninja.
speak Korean?
we
Yeah,
do
no,
speak
seriously.
in the art
Oh,
because
okay,
it's
okay.
more of a.
I was like, you know, body language is a language.
He just like jumped.
Sorry. Yeah.
She is Korean, actually.
I've never been to Korea.
Wow. So your
We're
body's
not
a weapon?
exactly-
I didn't know that. Don't you have to like announce that before you go into a room? You can be like, my body's a weapon because I do
She
martial
is.
arts.
No, seriously. Like it's.
And you have a bow?
Yeah.
No.
It makes for performing live well because it's like, okay, you know, if there's some weirdo at the show, like
Yeah, you just.
Maddie's got it. I can continue selling merch to people. Like Maddie's gonna.
Oh my God, I would pay
Like,
money
roundhouse.
to see that. if you just-
I'll walk into the kitchen. She's like got like the fridge open with her foot, and she's like
Like my
pulling,
hands
like-
are full. I'll like
Oh,
shut.
yeah,
she's,
I'll
like,
turn off the
pulling stuff
light.
No,
out,
that's
like,
just
it's just
being
like-
being any sort of waitress. I also, yeah,
It's
valid.
That's
Yeah, like,
part of
her
it.
like
Valid.
like toes are like little baby hands. It's just like it's so. Like,
Let's talk about
Sorry.
feet later.
Sorry, yeah,
No,
sorry.
I actually would love to because
I'm
we got to
wearing
get those
sandals.
views.
We're getting off
I know.
track.
I was
We're
like, my husband literally calls
We
my
do this all
toes
the time.
baby hands. So you said that, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna hide
Exposed.
my feet.
This is yeah, actually.
So multi-talented is what I'm hearing. So you play. Wait, I do want to talk about. So you play violin and cello because I
Yeah.
wanted to ask that on the Feral Heart EP, which came out in March, right, of this year, I believe. There is a beautiful. It's like the second. Is it? Which track has cello on it? I mean, a lot of it probably has that layer, but
Yeah,
there's
I think
one where
cello's
it's
on everything besides Lights Went Out.
Mm.
And you might just not notice it. It could just be plucking.
No,
'cause
there's
we
one-
we
yeah.
didn't have a bass player,
Mm.
so I would like pluck those notes. It's just what
Yeah.
can we do as a duo, you know?
right.
But I
It's
think you're thinking
beautiful.
of Beautiful Memories, maybe.
Maybe
the first
there's
track,
one. It's like the
all
first
cello.
or second track where it's like just
Only.
more prominent.
Yeah.
That lower tone comes through, like enough where I was like, "That's cello, not violin," and I know that because But it's so
Yeah.
beautiful,
Thank
and
you.
yeah, just what a like extra tool. I mean, I know violin and cello are similar and that they're string instruments, but it's still totally different.
Yeah.
Ball game.
Yeah, there's I feel like a inspiration of ours when it comes to that would be the Ballroom Thieves. Are you familiar
Oh,
with
no.
the Ballroom Thieves? So it's Martin
Can't think Ballroom
and,
Blitz
gosh,
is all I
Martin
can
and
think of.
Callie.
Yeah.
They are she's a cellist and he plays acoustic guitar player,
They both
singer
sing.
songwriter, and they both sing. But I mean, put on a spectacular show, and we got to open up for them last year, and it was just so inspiring being a brand new folk duo of like, oh my gosh, we have our first show. Okay, here we go. But then the first show ends up being a couple that's a songwriter, guitarist, and a cellist. And they're just like these awesome nomad people touring around the country, dude,
Yeah.
crushing it
And
with
they
their
have
dog.
they have a hound dog too.
And they had a hound dog. So it was like, oh, what in the
Whoa. Wait,
whoa.
speaking
Yeah.
of space and time and the split of
Yeah,
the photon, like, are there
seriously.
parallel universes?
Seriously, it was like I felt kind of bad. I was like, man, like it's like the same show. People are seeing
No,
like the
it's-
music's
it's
completely
different. Yeah,
different,
but it'll be
and
different.
which
Yeah,
I
they're
love.
like indie pop rock.
Yeah, I mean they get
But
And
like,
we're like indie folk rock.
yeah, we're like
folk
indie
rock.
love rock. Like, we're like ballads. Actually. There was just
whatever you want.
I think seeing them though was just like so inspiring.
Yeah.
Of like
Yeah.
Especially because like they were telling us that they were where we are, or at that time, so like a year ago, they were at our same spot 10 years before that. So
Yeah,
it was like, wow,
right.
we could be doing what you're doing.
or like just like
Yeah.
finding, you know, you make friends that are doing the same thing that you are, and
Well,
as musicians
having a
it's
mentor
hard.
too,
Right.
or like
Yeah.
someone to look up to. Honestly, you remind me so much of Ty, my songwriting partner, and I. We started. I mean, we met in college, and we've been playing I mean, people thought we were a couple forever because we were a duo forever.
Yeah.
And he's like a brother of mine now, I mean, but the like growth, because part of it is like you have to stay true and rooted to what you're doing, and you don't want to just go with the wind of like, oh, we want to be like the Civil Wars.
This
or
trend
we
is going on.
Yeah.
This trend is
Right?
happening. No.
So there's this like through line that you need to maintain, but at the same time, it's so great to see people that are doing what you're doing, or like you said, you're expanding into a 4-piece and like a bigger band, and that's, I mean, we're a 5-piece now, like that's where it. But I have this really distinct memory of recording our first album, which we were still a duo at that point. We're starting to like add a little drums here, do a little electric lick here, and I remember we're standing in the street, and he goes like, "I'm just worried this is like gonna be too much," you have this like evolution point, and then like flipped it now, and he has like 400 guitar pedals and like 8 guitars, and I mean, like it's
so real.
It just it happens. But yeah, we've been playing together for like 15 years, so I mean, it's
the evolution of it, and like you said, you want to stay true to your roots. You know what I mean? You don't want to lose yourself in that process. And kind of speaking along like the pedal line, Maddie has been all about technique,
Well,
and she's like,
I was gonna say that was beaten into her.
And so myself coming from the jam band, campfire guitarist kind of, I was like, oh, I can, I love to experiment with the pedals. I can play guitar, and I'm not the greatest guitar player. I'll never say that I am like.
Hey, it's how you use it. It's not, trust me, I'm not the best.
And it's
player
how,
either,
it's like that. How do I create that sound that I hear in my head and pull that out? And as long as I can do that, then I'm happy. And through that process, though, like I've built Madison a little pedal board.
Ooh.
And we're in the process of adding a little bit more
Switching
to it.
to analog.
Just for like creativity purpose. Like she's using them more like it's like you have all of the paintbrushes down and you know how to use the paintbrushes, but now it's just like, oh, little dabs of color that you can throw into
and like Bob Ross, sometimes you need to wet the canvas to change how the paint
increases
goes.
reverb all the way.
Exactly.
You got it. That's a reverb joke for all the listeners. But yeah, I think this, like, I've been there and I totally get that, because sometimes I don't want to overcomplicate, and also I'm like, what is it that I need that I am reliant on this pedal for example? But I think the way you're playing, and it sounds like with Beyond, how you were saying, like, those movements aren't going to change, right? But it's adding that extra drip to it, or the delay that's going to take it out into space.
Exactly. And that's what I do. Like, I have like a really tailed out reverb, digital pedal, and it just makes it sound even more like stars.
Sparkly as
just
color.
enhances it, but still same effect if I didn't have that.
Right. Right. It's like you highlight your hair or whatever, and it's still your hair. It's just like
but then when you curl it, it's like, oh, it's like extra cute.
It's the curl. It's the curl.
And then you throw in the drummer and the bass.
Yeah, so you got upright bass.
So that's a cool thing that's happened. We've added in a drummer and a bassist. Maddie plays in the Muscatine Symphony with a gentleman named Alec Hennings, who plays stand-up bass. And so he's willing to, so it's like those two get to talking on classical, and it's
and we went to high school together.
So
he's 2 years younger than me, so I was like, you're back. And he's like, yeah, I'm back.
But
I studied jazz, but I'm back.
Yeah, Alex throws down. Throws down. He is a whole
anyone who says jazz, I feel like it's
real.
And he's just he's like a little brother. Like, I didn't know him. I met him for 10 minutes at Guitar Center on accident. We grabbed Korean food. We were eating food. We were talking about how we needed a bass player. And he's like, I think I might know somebody who might be interested.
I literally just connected with him on the 4th of July, because we played for the 4th.
Right.
And was telling Jay about that, and then we went to Guitar Center because he needed guitar strings because his pickup thing broke, and he was there working.
That's like, the universe.
Yeah, and that's
that black hole magic.
Full circle.
And then our drummer, we met our drummer by playing at Goodmakers Market. We performed at a Goodmakers Market.
Yeah, because is this in Davenport, Quad Cities? You guys are based out of there,
We're based
right?
out of Quad Cities.
Yeah.
Goodmakers Market they have in Tipton at the Cedar County Fairgrounds out there. But it's such a cool experience, and we're playing at these. It's like it's the most like gypsy feeling thing ever, but everybody's shopping and there's so many boutiques and cool wares.
Sounds fun.
And it just so happens Madison was like, hey, I want to do a solo set there. Like I want to perform my backing tracks and show it to people that, hey,
like
I can do
pop
cocktail
music.
hours.
Oh,
so she's playing like
fun.
Pink Pony Club.
Oh, I love it.
and, like,
Yeah.
get down
Oh, that's
with it.
great.
Electric
Yeah.
violin.
So,
And
cool.
her sound engineer happens to be this gentleman, and he's like, yeah, I took this gig. I'm kind of giving him like, hey, here's how I try to help out with her sound. Like
It's so hard to mix a violin.
certain
by the
times.
way.
Well, and tracks there's just
And
an extra
right.
level.
Right.
Of,
Yes.
Yeah.
And-
Well, and it could peak really easily, and it's
Yep.
really quiet. I mean, your
Mhm.
variations
Those
and
highs.
yeah.
yeah,
I get it.
I mean, but it just so happened that he was like, hey, I'm actually a drummer, and I'm looking for a band to be a part of. And I was like, oh, we've been looking for a drummer. And he looks me dead in the eye, and he goes, look no further. And I was like, okay. And
You're
he
like,
goes,
is this like being
well,
swept off your
fell
feet?
in love again.
He goes, check this out. Next thing he's like, check this out. And he pulls out, it's a suitcase, like an old 1940s looking
Yes.
thing. And he has a drum kit that packs out of it. And I was
Dude.
like, bro, like,
Oh,
and
wow.
he's like, let's make music together. So we've been jamming, and like, it's like all these pieces, like I said, that starts to come
Wow.
together, and it just works
Yeah.
by doing what you love.
Also, he happened to be from the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
Like, what
His
do
name's
you
Cole
do?
from
Yeah.
Cole Valley.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's
Sorry.
again cheating.
Sorry,
like,
sorry.
did he name it? Wait,
Love you, Cole.
is the suitcase the bass drum, or does it have?
It packs out into
Oh,
like
okay.
like toms, and
'Cause
but
there's a-
the
who
so the
was it?
suitcase is a bass drum.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's a rim in there and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
rad.
Yep.
who was it? Oh my gosh, the names escaping me. But there was a folk artist that would hit the
classic like suitcase pedal into the pedal
yeah.
style.
Were they
Yeah.
a solo?
Yeah, what? It's a guy.
have a
I can't
beard?
remember. Yeah,
Jake Willis?
no, that's not what I'm thinking of. But I mean,
love
we could
Jake.
also just throw like names out of
No.
white folk.
Sorry.
No, I totally can't remember.
Sorry,
I'll
Jake,
like
we
message
love
you
you.
guys when I think of it. No,
Please,
there's
no, dude,
yeah.
I like that style is inspiring to me. I was laughing because she was wrong. Sorry.
She's not wrong.
You
was
hyped it
wrong.
up so much,
can't
though.
remember.
You hyped it up so much. Is that Jack Willis?
No, it's not her fault that I have a horrible memory and she's being helpful, giving options. So yeah, no, you're forgiven.
I'm in the doghouse today
Yeah,
now.
you're scared. No,
got a
okay,
thing I
I
gotta go
do
do.
something I want. Speaking of artists that can't remember the name of, no, but Jose Gonzalez. So we talked about
yes.
this. Your song on the EP "Pursuit," that vocal effect, that the kind of
The-
doubled vocals, it absolutely reminds me of that. So is that kind of the direction you're heading into?
I secretly love Jose Gonzalez. Like
Not
I am
secretly.
full on
Yeah. Yeah.
this music. It's the four on the floor. It's the rhythm. It's the feeling of
Yeah.
experimental and all these vibes and the vibe word, right?
Yeah. Oh,
About all these
versatile.
emotions that you experience within such a short span, and it's such
Yes.
a cultural. It breaks cultures, I guess, if you will.
Yes. Yeah.
And so Jose is a huge inspiration. That's kind of the route that I'd love to go with this as well, of being able to, we can jam live,
Yeah.
right? But also, without giving any secrets away, doing classical elements
Oh,
into
yeah.
here.
Totally.
And how can we like cinematic scores, just instrumentals purely, songwriting. Cole, our drummer, comes from a pop punk background. He's like, he wants to go. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a ripper. And Alec has this jazz background where he's like smooth
And
and
classical.
silky and
Yeah,
classical.
wow.
Use
So-
his bow and
Right,
everything.
right.
It's just this culmination of like such emotions and players that's like, and the coolest part is that everybody is so talented in their own respective elements, but also everyone is willing to go beyond and
Yeah.
go to the unknown territory. Like, just because the notes aren't written out in front of me, let's like, that's one of the first things where Madison and I started at. When we first started playing, I was like, started playing a song for her, and she's like, what do I play? And I was like,
Like, I don't know. What
I've
do you
never
play?
I said,
jammed
I
before.
looked at her, I
Yeah,
said, play what you
yeah.
feel.
Right.
And she's like, what do you mean play
But
what I
what- but
feel?
what
She's
are
like,
the
I don't know. Give me a
chords?
key or
Yeah,
a test.
yeah. What are the chords?
chords.
What are
That's
the-
a fair question.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
step
like
one.
I would
Yeah.
like see, oh, it's G. Okay, I should probably play like maybe G, maybe play B or D. Like
Yeah,
just
right,
sustain. I
right.
wouldn't like. I don't
Well, it's
know,
hard
I
to
was
break
scared.
that. I mean, because you're so used to that, like, especially relying on sheet music or like living that way, playing that way for
Yes.
so long.
Yeah.
This is very real. Like, as soon as I growing up playing piano, as soon as I found out you didn't have to, you could just play it without reading the music, then I
even
I was like, I'm out. Yeah.
Even a lead sheet, it's still like kind of like scary at first.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a skill that I do feel like sometimes people seem to just be born with that skill and that they can operate that way. But for most humans, I would say
Especially
most musicians,
when you've been doing it that one way for so long.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I do not envy that, I think.
She's definitely helped me. Like you said, music is a language, and she's definitely helped me be able to communicate what my barriers of non-music vocabulary, speaking, how to articulate certain things. Madison's like this translator a little bit now, like kind of with Alec. As well, I'm taking lessons and I'm learning things, and Madison's also teaching me music theory as we go. So I'm getting better.
Whether you want it or not.
Yeah. Well, just as you write and as you create songs, you develop better, and you become.
You're like, I want to. She's like, staccato.
Like,
yeah.
30-second notes. Oh my gosh, I love 30-second notes. Like, go crazy.
It's 16.
Yeah. Or syncopation. Oh man, give me some syncopation.
Love syncopation.
Or
same.
a glissando.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
He was obsessed with the word anacrusis.
Anacrusis. That's the
wait,
one
I don't know
say.
that term. What's that term?
It just means pick up.
So like you go
pick
back
up
like
to
a bar,
measure.
like you go back a bar before where you want to be at. It's like, oh, I'm at the chorus, but okay,
I did
go
not
back
We
to
would
the
use
bar
it
and the
all the
verse.
time. Be like, okay, guys, we're gonna start the anacrusis.
Oh my. Okay.
And then like everyone will look at me.
That's
I'm
a
like,
punchable offense.
It's like I said it once.
Yeah, it's like kind of like no offense to like the old listeners out there, but I was doing like some graphic design work for a guy, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I'll turn it into a vector file. He's like, yes, a vector file.
Oh my God.
And now suddenly I'll like.
You're like anacrusis.
He's like, hey, can you come get like some vector files? I'm like, oh, you need photos done? Yeah, sure. Like he like everything's a vector file.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
So,
my
like,
buddy specializes in vector.
Yeah, I have a guy that specializes in
I'm a vector
actually.
guy. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I specialize in
the worst,
anacrusis.
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
this
so
is
that I
why
became the guy with anacrusis a little bit.
I always say, like, there's specialists for a reason. Like, you can change your own oil, but also, and it's like, if you're going to talk to me about catalytic converters, I'm not going to know. But, like,
it's a thing,
right. But sometimes you just grip onto a term. And I actually want to, do you design your cover art? Because everything's really beautiful.
So it's because of my background with the photography,
vectors.
video, and vectors. I specialize in vector, bro.
Sure did.
So there's there's all kinds of elements. So I try to work with local artists if I can, but also it's like affording local artists where it's like, I want to be able to afford a local artist if I'm going to work with them. And that's honestly the hardest part to where it's like, in the music scene, it's like you're not making very much money. If you are making money, you're making it from merch or from playing shows, but then you have tour costs and then
even just having your music on Spotify and Apple Music,
it all
takes
costs.
out
I have
your
this
hand.
constant debate about leaving it up or taking it down.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think every artist does, and so a lot of it has to be made by us because it's the only way to afford the lifestyle as we grow, as it's in its early and infant stages.
No,
right?
I think it's really beautiful. I was showing this. So upstairs, Trilix Marketing, right? I'm sitting next to a gal, Jordan, and I was showing her this because I was like, wait a minute. I think Jay started this media company. I think, and you kind of work in the world that we do, of music and marketing and all these things. And I was like, even your website looks great. I was like, they know what they're doing for not, I mean, early days, I remember building a website and like it can go horribly wrong really quickly.
Totally.
So I was really impressed by the cover art. I think it's really beautiful and representative of your music and who you are. And so I was saying kudos.
Yeah, it was kind of like giving our heart out. But also
literally.
where like this wilderness, this life, this wonderful thing of nature that we all are a part of, and being able to be that vulnerable and that wild heart. And it was a very unique culmination of how it all came about, how life works in mysterious ways and how the things just kind of fell into place. And it was like, looking back on it, it's just like the most like, holy crap.
It's almost like we had that baby.
Yeah,
look, you can see it. It's there.
I think albums are like that though, probably, right? Like,
totally
because
are.
there's so much work going in. And so it was, I think between that, relationships, the full gambit of emotions was had with this. So it's definitely a heart and soul pedal was clicked on when making that, you know.
No, it's really beautiful. I really hope everyone goes and listens to it. And there was a great review. Little Village magazine, our friends over there did a review.
Yes.
And what I loved, the last line of it says something like this quietness is so loud. And I loved that because the songs themselves, like it's the first track, they talk about how it kind of swells in, and again, you've got this Jose Gonzalez, like this vibe, this very cinematic, which I love. I'm sure a lot of that is strings, but just like there's that bit of reverb
Pulsing
and drip you have going on. But what I so like the songs aren't explosive, in your face, loud rock and roll, right? That's not what it is, of course, because you're doing folk. But I just loved. It doesn't mean that the emotion of it isn't loud. Like that's what I thought came through when I listened to it. Is the emotion is loud.
That means a lot. That's it's so cool being able to have our music heard and being able, and not like that. We're grateful for that alone, but being able to hear like the feedback from it. And it's just such a beautiful thing, because a lot of times when you are so used to a community or a scene, it's one of these things where it's like, your friends tell you one thing, oh hey, that's a great song,
right? You're like,
hey,
thanks mom, thanks dad.
Like,
you like my band.
When it's like for someone to take the time to listen to it and to truly look at it and the aspects and all the pieces that went into it, to where it's like the layers that were involved to the making of this. Like the hero's adventure of it is what someone said, that this is a lover's hero's adventure.
Yeah.
And that it takes you through the full rebirth and elixir. I was like, oh my gosh, like these reviews.
I know I thought it was a great review.
And the Little Village mag, they, Emily, I think is who wrote it. I have terrible memory. I'm sorry.
Oh no, same. Everyone knows this.
I remember reading that review, and I was extremely appreciative because of how much she went into your side of the sound. Because a lot of times I tend to hog the mic, or I play guitar.
I mean, it's the frontman thing. Like someone needs to do that, but at the same time, like, just because Maddie isn't singing, it doesn't mean it's not a duet. Like it very much is. You know, I think you just use your violin as a
and for her to
you do sing on one, right?
Yeah. She does, It's the last song, which is kind of cute because it's like the starting of our relationship, like being extremely vulnerable, and by the time you get around to it, here we are singing together on this song and making music, and there's a kick drum in it now. Like we've grown.
Kick drum. You guys, it's just been such a delight to chat with you, and it's so fun to have dig into your journey. As short as it is, it's not short, but you put in a lot of effort.
Yes,
it's so cool to see how you two came together and where it's going. And I'm excited to hear kind of the full band stuff and, the things like that. But keep doing what you're doing. You're wonderful. Thank you for coming and playing a new song for us.
Thank you for having us and welcoming us. And, I was kind of giving you these thank you kudos earlier, but seriously, it means a lot. And we are very grateful for you and your team and
our listeners.
Mostly me,
the listeners. The listeners. If you've made it this far in the journey, give yourself a pat on the back, because we've made it.
4 hours later,
we have made it through the universe of Wolfskill in the Wild.
Yes,
a little bit
the universe or the black hole.
Yeah,
Wolfskill in the Wild, whichever. I mean, honestly, this podcast is a bit of a black hole. That's what in the round means.
But you know what you're doing. You know what's important about this podcast, though, and why people should support this podcast is people like us, young artists who are coming through here, or just touring artists or national artists. You're supporting your local community and your local scene, and you're building it up.
Anyone,
And as we just talked about, by bringing in that diversity and by bringing in that culture, you're creating new experiences and new art to emerge. And so this is an important thing, and we're very thankful that you have invited us to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Well, we love having talented people through, and I couldn't have said it better myself, folks. Wow, we didn't even pay you for that, but we probably have to now.
No,
thank you. No, thanks. Really appreciate
genuine.
it. And gosh, have a great. We'll catch you when you're through town, and good luck in Davenport and all around. And
we'll be back. We'll catch up. We'll catch up in November.
I watched life pass me by.
Thank you so much.
I was alone. I saw the light. I saw the light. You shine bright and burn out the black of night. And you shine bright
In the Round is produced and recorded at Trilix Studio. Remember to subscribe to In the Round wherever podcasts are found.